guys, it's Mike, and I am back after my short hiatus. And today, we're going to be taking a look at TrueVelocity's 5.56 ammunition. For those of you who aren't aware, TrueVelocity came to light the past couple years over their participation in the Next Gen Squad Weaponry program for the U.S. government. They didn't end up winning with their designed cartridge, which was a 6.8 millimeter polymer cased cartridge. So since they didn't win, naturally, they have started making stuff for the consumer market and possibly law enforcement. I'm not entirely sure what the aim of some of this stuff is. They do currently have 308 available, as well as 5.56 and 223. Their 223 and 308 seem mostly to be of match ammunition using their conventional polymer cases, with this seeming to be more of a ball offering. And that's what caught my eye about it. I was at Cabela's picking up ammunition, as one does, and I saw these guys for $25 a box. So this is a 20 round box, and the packaging is quite nice. So I'll bring them right in here. And you can see they got a nice little flap. They open up and everything is nicely encased in here. Now I'll pull one out. And we just have a, I don't know if you guys can see that head stamp, TrueVelocity 5.56. And it seems to be a steel base up to about there, with a polymer case that at the shoulder almost seems like it's another piece of polymer that's been fused. I don't know if you guys can make that out very well. But this is a 55 grain FMJ. I don't believe it says whether it's boat tail. No, it does not. But the specs on this stuff are pretty similar to what you would get out of M193 ball. And M193 ball is a lot less expensive than this, obviously. At $25 a box, this comes to $1.25 a shot for what, from what I can see looking at the specs on here, and I'll read them off here. We got a muzzle velocity of 3,170 with 1,227 foot-pounds of energy. And for comparison, Winchester white box, M193 ball, 3180 at the muzzle for velocity and 1235 for energy. So about the same, negligible difference. The only difference is these guys are polymer cased, and like I said, at $1.25 a shot, depending on the bulk you buy your M193 white box in, it can be as low as 44 cents a shot. So that is almost 3 rounds of this for 1 round of this. So the question is, why, and is it worth it? And that's really what got me interested in it. The biggest thing that these guys say right on the back of their case, we've got a breakdown of all of the different bonuses or pros. So we've got a composite case, lower weight than a traditional brass case, reduces heat transfer by insulating the heat, unlike a brass case, which absorbs some heat. But I would argue that the absorption of heat by the brass case actually wicks heat out of the chamber, whereas this might cause it to build up more. Extreme consistency, internal precision molded internals of the case, guaranteed powder precision, and wonderful terminal effects. Now, obviously, this is not a hunting round. I don't know if they take all of these off, because they do have Nosler AccuBond loads for the 308 and 223, I believe. So I don't know if this is just a generic kind of backup case. Regardless, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I bought 2 boxes of this just for the purpose of testing it to really see if there's any benefit. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a sampling of 5 of these to 5 M193s. We'll take a couple samplings, we'll put them on a scale here and see what the actual weight difference is. All right, so I'm going to hold you guys for this portion of it just so that you can see the scale a little bit easier. Go ahead and remember how to turn around. Make sure we're in ounces. And we will put on 5. Don't really matter if I stand them up, do it. 5 of our TrueVelocity, so that is 7.4 ounces. Grab another 5. .4 ounces. Be really nice if it's all consistent. I don't know how accurate this is to pick up the minute difference in powder, or maybe it is just that precise. I guess we'll see with the other. And 7.4 ounces. All right. Well, let's try out our Winchester White Box M193s. 5 rounds. 2 even. Sorry for all the clanking. Ammunition ain't exactly light. 2 even looked like it almost wanted to go to 2.1. .2 ounces. So as we can see, they all are pretty consistent, at least weight-wise. I guess I don't know what I expected. 5 rounds of the same loading should weigh the same, but you are saving, you know, a fraction of an ounce, which, considering in your standard capacity magazine you have 30 rounds of it, it adds up quick. The question is, does it add up quick enough for it to be worth it? And the question is, how well does it shoot? So we're going to take this stuff out to the range. I'm going to shoot a control group of M193 ball, and we're going to shoot some groups of the TrueVelocity ammunition. The gun I'm going to be shooting them out of is my Fight Light SCR-10. It has a 16.25 inch barrel with a 1 in 9 twist rate, and it is just a mil-spec barrel. I chose it because it's truly the only 5.56 I have with a scope on it at the moment. And we'll be shooting it off a rest. So without further ado, we'll get out to the range. All right, guys, we are at the range. I have got 5 rounds of M193 Winchester White Box loaded up in my magazine here as a control. Like I said, going to the Fight Light SCR. I've kind of got it set up here. It's pretty stable. It's not going to move. Don't have a gun vise. This is the best we're going to be able to do today. And James is terrified of this ammunition, which I think is hilarious because he shot some sketchy stuff, but something about these plastic cases, he was able to scratch it while holding it. So he's a little nervous. So he's not going to be shooting them, much to my surprise. I thought he'd be all over it, but that's fine. I'll be the guinea pig today. Go ahead and get this in. And we'll shoot a control group at 5 of the M193s, and we are at 50 yards. Now I can already see that's probably about a 3.5 inch group. It's M193. This isn't sighted in for it. This is sighted for 55 grain Hornady VMAX. So it's still pretty much on point of aim, but larger group. I expected that. We're shooting white box. So let's check out our TrueVelocity. There's just something about plastic 223 that just looks wrong. These look like dummy rounds.
Like I said, I'm moderately terrified to even think about shooting it.
All right, let's see. Let's see if they make up for their cost. Remember, $125 a shot for these things. I really hope this doesn't damage my gun. All right, and for the sake of transparency of the video, the first target on there that I shot was the lower right-hand side one. So I'm going to go to the upper right-hand side one for our first group of the TrueVelocity. That didn't feel right.
Well, I saw the bullet leave the muzzle.
It felt like I had a delay on it chambering. So I'm going to check the cartridge. Actually, I'm not chambered. And the case neck is broken. Or is that just fouling, James?
That's just fouling.
It's just fouling? You can see I'm on high alert with this stuff. It just is not, okay, maybe I will be fair. The gun ain't squeaky clean because I didn't want to make it squeaky clean prior to a test, but it's not dirty to the point where it should have a hang up like that. All right, let's put some more down. Color me pleasantly surprised. That's about a 1-inch group. So I do have one flyer in there. That was that first round where it had a delay after it. But the rest of them hit right where I was going. Are any of those shells laying around on the ground, James?
Yeah, I see 3 of them.
All right. So here are our hulls that we just gathered up. You can see they're all intact still. A lot of fouling on them. I kind of expected that. Spent brass does too. Just a lot more obvious when you're on a little white polymer case like this. James, you brave enough to reload these? All right. Let's shoot one more group of 5. Just make sure that wasn't a fluke. Now, like I said, this stuff's pretty expensive, but you know, there are people willing to pay a premium for accurate ammunition. You know, it's not me when it comes to 5.56 at least. I'm not shooting a 5.56 for accuracy typically. That's why this is the gun I chose, because this is the gun I hunt with. It's the only 5.56 223 I have that's halfway sighted in and has an actual scope. The rest of Red does. So we'll get this. So that one kind of sprung out of the magazine in there. That's fine.
I believe that usually comes down to user error.
Okay.
Skill issue. Get good. GGEZ.
All right, let's send. I'm gonna go right for the center target on these ones. Nah, I'll stick to the other. Going to the other top target. All right, so let's take a walk down there, take a look at our target. All right, so before we went down to the target, James decided he was brave enough to try shooting them since they're doing fine. So Go ahead, James, send a few. What are your thoughts? Seems like ammo?
Seems like ammo.
All right.
It went bang.
Yeah, you know, that is a
And,
precursor
didn't
being
go
ammo.
boom.
Gun's still intact.
So are my fingers.
Yeah. All right, let's go see the target. All right, guys, so we're down at the target. Again, this was at 50 yards. So right here we have my first group. This is with the Winchester White Box M193. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, about 2.5 inch spread all the way around. It looks like got about 2.5 here as well. Now we did have this kind of flyer out here, but other than that, we're all within 2 inches here, with about a 1 inch with the bulk of our rounds. That was my first group with the TrueVelocity. And then over here again we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all within 2 inch vertical and about an inch, 2 inch horizontal and about an inch vertical. And the horizontal could be me because of the kind of rest that we're using. So it certainly shows that it is more consistent than M193. I'm actually surprised, but I shouldn't be. I would hope for 3 times the price you'd at least be getting a more precise ammunition. That being said, I'm not really sure that I would recommend it, purely because of the fact that it costs $125 a shot versus if you're gonna go dump a bunch of 5.56 M193 costs 44 cents a shot, and you can shoot all day with that. But if you are trying to be a little more accurate, that's a good choice. But I'm sure there's a lot of 223 match ammunitions that are a lot cheaper that will do the same thing. And maybe that's something I'll look at down the line. But for now, if you want to buy it for the novelty, it's good ammunition. It shoots well, much to my surprise. But if you're just looking for 5.56, buy Winchester White Box. It's a lot cheaper. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. I hope this was informational. Have a good day. Like, subscribe. I'll see you next time.